Minccino, Literal, aka Mega Blitz. In today's video, we're gonna look at my favorite deck to play since rotation. Now, if you've been watching my channel for any period of time, you might already know what this is. And if you don't, you probably at least have a good guess. So let's jump right in to that deck list. Alright, and here we are at that deck list, Lugia VSTAR. Now, for those that don't know, the very first video I uploaded here on the channel was me talking about and showcasing Single Strike Lugia and how I felt like at the time, that was the best deck to climb the TCG Live ranked ladder with. As well as Lugia being tied for my favorite Pokemon overall, right next to Pyroar, and Lugia being the mascot of my channel. Lugia is the logo. So for my full deck list here, I got 4 Minccino, 3 Cinccino, 4 Lugia V, 3 Lugia VSTAR, 4 Archeops, 1 Lumineon V, 1 Snorlax, 3 Boss's Orders, 3 Iono, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Serena, 1 Jacq, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Capturing Aroma, 3 Great Ball, 1 Master Ball, 1 Clap Stadium, 4 Double Turbo Energies, 4 Jet Energies, 4 Gift Energies, 2 Mist Energies, 1 Therapeutic Energy, and 1 V-Guard Energy. Now, with Professor Burnett being rotated and no longer being able to be played in Lugia, we had to put in a couple other cards, being Serena and Jacq, which still feel pretty good. Being able to have Serena in there as just a discard and draw supporter and a pretty good gust effect against your opponent's Pokemon V, and being able to Luminous Sign for that Jacq, find 2 evolution Pokemon, and be able to Ultra Ball away 2 Archeops feels really good as well. When Cinccino got revealed for this deck, I was so excited because I was like, Lugia is back and it is ready to go. I will say 3 Iono feels really good in this deck as well. Playing 16 energies in this deck, a lot of the times you'll have a good chunk of them in your hand, either early game, later on, or sometimes even in the middle of the game. So being able to just put those to the bottom and then being able to Primal Turbo them onto your Pokemon feels really good as well. I've also seen a lot of lists playing 3 Lugia V and 2 Lumineon V. However, I had a lot of consistency issues. There was a couple games where I would have like 2 Lugia V in my prize cards, have a bench Lugia V, and then it would get knocked out, and I wouldn't be able to Summoning Star that game. So I cut 1 Lumineon V for a Lugia V, and it feels pretty good. So let's jump right in to that gameplay. Alrighty, here we are at that gameplay with our Lugia VSTAR deck. Now with Lugia, you always want to be going first. You want to be able to get 2 Archeops into the discard pile, evolve into Lugia VSTAR for that Summoning Star ability as fast and as consistently as you possibly can. So we are going to be going first here. I'm going to have a pretty okay starting hand. We're going to have a Minccino and a Lugia V to be able to bench here. I'm going to put the Minccino up in the active. I have felt like starting with Minccino in the active feels a lot better than starting with a Lugia in the active a lot of the times, because there's been so many times where I just get a Lugia V KO'd. I'd rather lose a Minccino than a Lugia. So we're going to attach that energy here to that Minccino, pass turn, and we are playing against Charizard with Pidgeot. So we're going to be able to bench that Charmander and that Pidgey. Nest Ball for that Rotom here. Be able to instant charge, draw 3 cards, and it's back to us. Now I'm going to be able to evolve my Lugia V into Lugia VSTAR. I'm going to be able to Serena, discarding 2 Archeops out of my hand to be able to draw up till I have 5 cards. Attach that gift energy to that Lugia VSTAR so I can get 1 more card into my hand, bench another Minccino here, retreat out of the active Minccino into my Lugia VSTAR, Summoning Star here, put 2 Archeops right onto the bench here, and then we're going to be able to start Primal Turboing. Be able to put some energies onto our Pokemon. So I'm going to grab Double Turbo Energy and V-Guard Energy for our Lugia VSTAR here, and then I'm also going to be able to just start turboing other things to other Pokemon later on now. But I want to elect to just use that 1 there to start kind of reserving some energies. I don't want to start putting energies onto Mincinos for them to potentially get like boss and KO'd, and then I lose out on all those energies. So take a KO on that Manaphy here. I'm going to be able to go to a 5-6 split. Now, something else that's really important when playing Lugia is managing your energies on certain Pokemon for what effects they might have. You know, Mist Energies being able to prevent effects of attacks is really important. Gift Energy being able to allow you to drop till you have 7 cards in your hand if it gets KO'd by an attack. V-Guard Energy, making it so it takes 30 less from Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon V. There's a lot of different energies in here that do a lot of different things, so you want to make sure that they're going onto the right Pokemon and you're managing them properly. So our opponent here going to be able to Ultra Ball, being able to get into that Pidgeot EX here, going to be able to bench another couple other Pokemon. Gonna have 3 Charmanders on that bench over there, so gonna be able to hopefully start setting up for that rare candy Charizard EX here. They probably quick search for that Iono to be able to put all of our stuff to the bottom, getting us up to 5 cards in hand. We're going to be able to get into a Cinccino here, though, which is going to be pretty nice, being able to evolve our Minccino into Cinccino, capturing Aroma, Great Ball, Collapse Stadium, and a double Turbo Energy as well. One of the really cool things about this matchup is Cinccino is really powerful into Charizard EXs because you only need to put 5 energies onto your Cinccino to get to that 330, and one of them could even be a double Turbo Energy and still get there. So being able to take a really big KO on a 330 HP Charizard EX with a stage 1 single prizer is really good. So we're going to be able to Burning Darkness here for 210 into that Lugia V-STAR here. And now I'm like, okay, we're going to be able to evolve our Minccino into Cinccino, and then be able to capture Aroma, maybe try to find a second one potentially here. So flip it, we get heads. So we're going to grab ourselves a second Cinccino, be able to evolve that Minccino into Cinccino here, be able to Primal Turbo, going to start putting some energies onto our Cinccinos. So we're going to get a Gift Energy and a Jet Energy and attach it to our Cinccino here. Going to also be able to attach a double Turbo Energy from hand. So we're going to put that onto there as well. Be able to Primal Turbo 2 more energies here. I'm going to grab another Gift and, Gift and double Turbo Energy and attach it to the other Cinccino. So now I'm going to be able to also Great Ball here. We're going to find ourselves into a Minccino. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to be able to bench that as well. And then I elect to not play Collapse Stadium here. And the reason I elect to not play Collapse Stadium is because I don't want my opponent to get rid of that Rotom V. I will also say this gameplay footage is of previous stuff with an older version of the list. This is the deck list I had showed is the one that I've had more success with. This deck list here is just the one that I had and had recorded and really was able to showcase the pure raw power of Cinccino and the deck as well. 2 Collapse Stadium still feels pretty good in the deck as well. Gift Energy going to trigger here, being able to drop till we have 7 cards in hand. So now, going to be able to put the Lugia V-STAR back up into the active spot, being able to take a KO on that Charizard as well. So we're going to be able to capturing Aroma here, flip a coin. We're going to get heads. So we're going to grab an evolution Pokemon. So we're going to grab another Cinccino, be able to evolve that Minccino into Cinccino here. And then I'm going to be able to just have a lot of access to things. Be able to have Iono, be able to have Boss, Professor's Research if I want to. I have Jet Energy. But the hard thing with Jet Energies is if I were to attach it to the Cinccino or maybe an Archeops or whatever, it would go right up into the active spot. And I don't know if I want it in the active right now. So I'm just going to Tempest Dive, take a KO onto that Charizard EX here, taking another 2 prize cards, Double Turbo and Therapeutic Energy coming off of those prize cards here. Now, Therapeutic Energy being in there to keep the Snorlax that we play 1 copy of awake because of that thumping Snore attack will make it go to sleep. But if you're playing in a matchup where you don't really need to use Snorlax potentially, like Charizard, it doesn't really matter. You're trying to go for that Cinccino more often than you are with that Snorlax. So using that Therapeutic Energy on a Cinccino or something doesn't feel too bad if you have to. Now they're going to be able to Rock Santas here. Nest Ball for that Delphox V. Now Delphox is a really strong Pokemon, especially against decks like Lost Box or even things like this, where my Cincinos have 110 HP. That Delphox is going to be able to do 120 damage to 2 of my Pokemon, so they'll be able to potentially KO both of my Cincinos, which would have been the correct play here, but they're going to like to KO one Cinccino and the Lugia V-STAR. Now, had they just KO'd both Cincinos, I think they would have actually won this game because they're in a position, I'm in a position now where I can just put up this Cinccino, be able to Primal Turbo some energies onto it, and then hopefully be able to find my way into a boss's orders to KO that Charizard EX in the back there. So I'm going to be able to Ultra Ball, find the Snorlax here, and then I could have actually grabbed Lumineon V to be able to put some energies onto that Charizard, be able to boss and take a KO. However, I really wanted to get rid of this Delphox here because I was in a position where I was like, okay, if they were to take another KO and get rid of my Cinccino, I don't really have anything else to answer it with. So we're going to be able to just attach 3 energies here, be able to Iono, and then put all of our cards to the bottom here. I'm going to be able to do 210 damage exactly to that Delphox V, taking 2 more prize cards. Something else that's kind of important to note is had I grabbed Lumineon V, they would be able to quick search for boss and then be able to just boss up the Lumineon V, take a KO because they only had 2 prize cards left. So I had to manage how many prize cards they had left. So grabbing just a backup attacker there, being that Snorlax, and putting my opponent in a position where they have to take 2 more KOs instead of just 1 can really be important as well. So you're going to be able to bench that Radiant Charizard here. You're going to be able to play that Iono, putting us to 1 card here. They're going to be able to get ourselves into Jacq. However, if they take the KO on this Cinccino, I'm in a position where that gift entity will trigger, and I might be able to find another boss's orders or just something that could be of benefit for me. So they're kind of just thinking through what they want to do here. They haven't used the Forest Seal Stone either, so they haven't been able to use that V-Star ability. They're going to quick search here, be able to find 1 card and put it into their hand. Something else that's really important to note is they need me to not have like boss's orders, or if I had Serena V, that wouldn't even work either because I would be able to pull up the Rotom, but I wouldn't be able to potentially take a KO with it because the Snorlax here isn't going to be able to get to 190 damage because it's going to be doing 160. The Cinccino would have to live this turn to be able to do that. But it looks like they quick search for that fire energy there, being able to retreat out of that Pidgeot into Radiant Charizard. Going to be able to Combustion Blast, take a KO on our Cinccino here, which is going to allow me to just put up that Snorlax and be able to take a KO on that Radiant Charizard with that Thumping Snore for exactly 160 damage. So we're going to be able to take that KO, take our last prize card, beating Charizard EX with Lugia V-Star here. So now let's jump right in to that outro. Alrighty, that's going to do it for today's video. I'm going to make sure to put both those deck lists, the one that I went over, that I've currently been playing, and the one in the gameplay, in the description below. If you guys want to try either one of them out for yourself, you'll be able to. If you guys are enjoying the content I've been making for you on the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!